Hi, Neal Brennan here, one of the champs. I have some dates. The most important one is July 12th, Phoenix. Come fuck with me. July 12th at Stand Up Live in Phoenix. And I see that you listen to the show, Phoenix. So I see how many people exactly listen to the show in Phoenix. So if there's like 700 people to listen to the show and then 40 of you show up, I'm going to be fucking mad at Phoenix.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
This is Moshe Kasher coming in. I will be at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal in July and in Toronto in September, and I'll be at the La Jolla Comedy Store July 6th weekend. Now listen, I'm proud to announce we have a very special contest that's breaking today. It's the Champs T-shirt contest. To all of our listeners, if you wanted the chance to design our T-shirt, one of our T-shirts, send your designs in to... the champs. What's our email? Email the champs at gmail.com. I set it up. I should know. Email the champs at gmail.com. Send us your designs, and maybe you can be one of the champs.
And this is DJ Douggpound here in the mix, and I will be in Chicago, Madison, and Milwaukee, July 27th, 28th, and 29th, with Tim Heidecker and Neil Hamburger and Kenny K. Strasser, the Yo-Yo Extravaganza. Not to be missed.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's going to be a great show.
It's not the Yo-Yo Extravaganza?
I've seen the Yo-Yo Extravaganza, yeah.
And it's not to be missed?
It's not to be missed.
I actually want to see it.
It's not to be missed, so.
Murph, hit it.
What do you want me to do, man?
You got your dates?
Oh, my dates. Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to wait, but, you know, if you want to see your boy Charlie Murphy, and I know you want to see me, I'm going to be in Rochester on the 28th at the Broadway Theater. Show starts at 7:30. June the 28th in Rochester. This week, coming up. Charlie Murphy, Freeze Love, Phase on Love, Acid Trip Tour 2012. Be there. You'll be asking yourself, is it already happening? That's right. 7:30 in Rochester on the 28th at the Broadway Theater. Your boy, Charlie Murphy. That's what's up.
That is what's up. And also what's up is the champs, ladies and gentlemen. So let's begin.
Champs.
You guys like that one?
Yeah, you've been so hardcore the last few weeks with all this like hip hop and South African gangster rap, and then all of a sudden, what's that? The theme to Bosom Buddies?
That's called "Let the Love Shine" by Prindy/Writer.
Okay,
it's from a music library.
Look, we get a lot of requests. We don't actually get a lot of requests for guests. We get some. But probably our most requested would be our guest today.
You asked for it, we delivered.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Charlie Murphy!
Tell you something about black folks.
Yeah, he does his own drops.
He does his own drops, that's right.
All right, so Murph, I want to talk about, because I know you, I've known you a long-ass time. Do you remember meeting? Do you remember when we met?
Do I remember meeting you? I met you.
There's no way you remember it, but do you, maybe you do.
I met you at the show.
No. We met in 1997.
All right.
Me and Dave had just written Half Baked, and we were very proud of ourselves.
Okay.
So we went.
Neal, stop dropping my name.
We rented a limousine and we did mushrooms.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it's a rare Neal Brennan drug
trip.
I
don't remember that.
Yeah, and so we went. It was me, Dave, a couple strippers.
And I did mushrooms too?
No, you were not. You were just on your own thing. Okay. So we went. We went to a club.
What was I doing? Coke?
That's up to you. You'll have to.
What was I doing?
All right, so
no, you weren't doing mushrooms. You had a hypodermic needle hanging out of me there.
No, so we went to a club, and I look over at one point, and Dave's talking to this dude,
right?
And I'm like, look, and I'm on mushrooms, so I'm like, fucking Eddie Murphy's ripped.
You are wicked.
So I'm like, who the fuck is Dave talking? It looks like a fucking ripped ass, fucking big ass Eddie Murphy. And then I realize, oh, it's fucking Charlie Murphy. So I go over, but again, I'm on mushrooms, so I'm fucking bugging out. We go over, and you kept talking about how when you and Eddie came out here, everybody had Jerry curls.
Yeah, man, yeah.
And then you kept saying that there's poison. You were talking about Hollywood screenplays, and you kept saying there's poison in ice cream.
No, poison in ice cream, meaning, if I show you something that generally perceived as a good thing,
right,
but
Cookie
it's just
dough.
the underlying message is negative.
Right.
That's what we mean by that.
Yeah. And you kept saying that. It was, and me and Dave said it for years.
Yeah.
Like, there's poison in ice cream, there's poison in ice, and then
Poison and ice cream.
yeah.
Just like that movie, The Help. I look at that as poison and ice cream.
Oh, you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
You've seen it before. You've seen I'm a Star. You've seen Roots. You've seen
Yeah.
Driving Miss Daisy. It's all the same movie.
Roots is the same movie as.
Driving Miss Daisy is
You know what's funny?
it's
I never
all the
saw-
same movie.
It's just
It's a yes, I be nice movie.
like it's,
Oh,
I
no,
was
I
trying to
ain't
get
heard of
along
that,
with
bitch.
you. I was trying to plead. Just don't hit me again.
how does the help end? How does the help end?
They where they all in.
Yeah, doesn't he drop her off at the Piggly Wiggly?
Black person saves the day, you know.
And gets no credit or gets like
She got
go back-
credit, you know. She made the pie and all that stuff, you know.
The shit. The pie was made of shit though, correct?
Yes.
She made a shit pie.
Yeah, like that's the plot.
Don't that make you wonder? Like, how could you get away with that? How could you pull that off? Do you think if I made a shit pie and I brought it in here that you would eat it before you realized it was shit? That's the part that fucked me.
Here's
up.
what where my
I have
head
a hard
goes.
Well, if there's
imagining
poison in
that.
ice cream, there could be poison in pie.
There could be.
It is poison in
There's
pie.
poop in pie.
But I'm saying though, if I bought some pie with doodle in it and put it in front of
It's
you,
only doo-doo. It's not even with doo-doo in it.
was
It's
a
a
doodle
doo-doo pie.
It's a doodle pie.
I think it's got. My thinking goes to. I would have to think about what you ate.
The only other
sweet
ingredient was
shit.
the special sugar she brought in from
They
Panama.
don't have nice shit that smells sweet.
No. There are different notes of shit. You can't.
Yeah,
tell me that
some
there's-
is
Listen,
worse, but
the
none
only
is
other
good.
ingredient was sugar. Because the woman said, "Well, what did you put in this pie? What did you put in this pie?" She said, "I got that special sugar you like from Panama."
Oh, the person likes it in the movie?
she loved
No,
it.
loves it.
She said it's the
Oh,
best
for
pie I ever
God's
had in my
Sakes,
life.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And she had it all over her
Well,
teeth.
All right. So where do we start with Charlotte? Let's start with. Because I want you to tell stories that you probably don't tell a lot. My favorite stories of yours are high school.
High school. What about high school?
That you were in some kind of
I was in a
gang.
gang. I was in multiple gangs. Yeah.
To break me off some.
Well, the funny thing about my gang tenure was that it was ended by my mother.
like a real
after
gangster.
I became one of the leaders in the gang and had to quit.
What was the name
His
of the
mother
gang?
said, "Quit the gang." You know, the name of the gang was the King Pythons.
Of course.
Yeah,
Gang
King
bang my
Pythons
face.
would choke you out.
Was it a
bitch.
wrestling gang?
A wrestling gang? Yeah.
We'll choke you out. That's that was your
Gang
threat?
bang my face.
That was my personal threat. Yeah, it
would
wasn't.
you
It
choke
wasn't the
people out?
gang's logo. Now I wasn't into choking people out back then. I just bash you. You know, choke you out.
Wouldn't you carry chains around? Didn't you tell me that?
I never carried a chain around.
All
I
right.
used to just get over with socking people in the face. It was very efficient.
It does. That
You know?
does. That is very
A well-delivered
efficient.
punch puts them on their back, and then
Were you a good student?
no. I could have been a good student, but I was misdirected. You know when I became a good student when I went to the military. That's when I realized. I actually remember going, "Wow, you're not stupid," because I actually applied myself and. It was, things were not hard, nowhere near as hard as I thought they would be.
I had the same experience when I dropped out. I was like, "Oh, you're not an idiot."
The gang I was in was funny. Everybody in the gang was 15 and under, and the leader was 25.
A true winner.
No one noticed.
His name was Rocky.
That's funny.
He'd have everybody meet him at a certain spot at a certain time of the day, and we had to bring dues, And whoever don't got their dues, he'd have the other gang members beat them up. But then you realize, I realized anyway, Rocky was taking the dues money and buying wine with it. And I was like, wait a minute. So he has his own lineup, and then we give him dues, and then he goes and buys Thunderbird with the money. I'm not showing up to no more.
And what was the point of the gang? Was just you were just a gang.
I think that he
To
was
buy Rocky Thunderbird.
to buy Rocky Thunderbird. That was his. Rocky just assembled this group of guys that were rough or whatever, and gave him a name and a sense of camaraderie, because that's what gangs are, And then he just took advantage of that.
Did you drop out of the gang by baking him a doo-doo pie?
No. I dropped out of the gang by my mother telling me, you're out of the gang. Either you out of the gang or you have to get out the house. So I'd rather have somewhere to sleep at night.
And you were still in high school?
Yeah, I had to run for a whole year, man.
Did you ever?
Seen my legs,
oh, from
man.
Rocky?
I had legs of steel. I was jumping over. Edward Moses couldn't do nothing.
Oh, you were like they were coming after
Oh
you, like,
yeah,
to
man.
be
Yes,
in the gang?
yes. You're supposed to get a rollout special when you leave the gang. I wasn't getting no rollout special.
What's the rollout
if
special
you get the
mean?
rollout special,
A rollout special. That means that they get you and they hold your arms back behind you like this, and they get the biggest guys in the gang, and they throw body shots.
They beat you in and beat you out.
Till they get tired. Okay, it's a rollout special. You know,
Can you
like
defend
ribs
yourself? I guess
they
it's
hold
like
your
holding
arms back
yeah.
like this, and then they got these big guys going to the body till they get tired.
How many guys were in the gang?
Several, enough to break your ribs.
But like 20?
That was more than that. It was
That's a
all
lot
right.
of
So
That's
like
a
this
lot
is
of
like
Thunderbird.
it was
30,
like the
40
Warriors.
guys. Yeah, it was a big gang. Yeah.
Were you ever in a gang?
No, you were in the gang though. Correct.
I was in a gang. I mean, it wasn't real. It was called the
Pure kind of.
the pure adrenaline
But when
gangsters.
I think
Yeah.
about the type of gang that I was in compared to the gangs now, it feels like you're talking about. Yes, and I started in West Side Story.
Yeah. Well, think about your gang as
When we
compared.
had a beef, we danced it off. You know?
Think about your gang compared to the Crips or
Come on,
Bloods
man, there's
now,
no comparison,
and then
no
compare,
comparison.
then go all the way down to my gang. It's like the same differential. So we were like
Yeah.
Right.
truly
But yours
pathetic.
was in the 90s legally.
like compared to what these cats is doing now, man. Come on, man. No
Yeah,
comparison.
what were you? And what were you were just literally giving? You were buying wine. That
Put
was,
it like this: nobody in my gang was a murderer. Okay,
Right.
Nobody in my gang shot anybody that I
Right.
can remember. Nobody in my gang got shot.
right.
So when I think about the gang bangers now, these guys are much more serious than we were. You know, the most you see was maybe a little knife play every now and then, but mostly it was hands.
So you would
You
see
know?
guys get stabbed. I've never seen
I've
anybody
seen
get
that,
stabbed.
yeah, I've seen people get. I've seen myself get stabbed.
Oh, you been stabbed? Tell us that story.
Do tell.
By a girl.
Okay.
One of my
I've stabbed a
girlfriends-
couple
one of my
girls.
girlfriends
Come
stabbed
on.
me.
I can't have sex anyway since I
One of
got
my
shot in the
girlfriends
dick
stabbed
in
me,
that
man.
grocery store in 2013.
One of those Shell steak knives. Them Shell was giving get a free steak knife with 5 gallons of gas from Shell. And they had her father apparently bought 5 gallons from Shell. She had the knife, and what happened was I have an older friend. His name was Billy Walls, and he was like a neighborhood. I don't know, the neighborhood stud or whatever. He was the type of guy that not only did he have sex with the girls our age or whatever, he was banging their moms too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he was pulling it off, but he was the guy that was doing
That's
it.
Billy Walls.
And Billy Walls today has like 25 children.
Of course, yeah.
He was very popular with the ladies, and he used to tell me all of his stories. You know, like who he did last night, and how he did them. And then one day he was telling me a story, and I realized the story he was telling me about was my own girlfriend.
Yeah, like that's cool, Billy Walls.
Your girlfriend,
He said
and
she
they
kept
all
on-
want you.
And she was yelling my name out on every stroke. Billy Walls, Billy Walls. That really messed me up psychologically. I was like, wow, you know, I don't want to hear no more of this story. So
Was it what detail let you know it was your girlfriend?
her name, how about that? Her name.
Oh,
and
that's
That's a good
we
detail.
all knew her. He said her whole first and last name. I mean, I think that would make me know
Yeah,
that
that's
he's talking
pretty
about the
clear.
same person. He said,
all right.
yeah, remember so and so last
Oh,
name?
no, I ain't heard of that bitch.
And I remember, I hadn't seen her that night before. So then I talked to her on the phone, and she was acting like nothing happened. And I told her, you know, I know what happened. It's over, blah, blah, blah. And then she felt that she deserved to stab me after that.
So she stabbed
Oh,
you
she
because
stabbed
she
you.
fucked
Yeah,
Billy
man,
Walls?
yeah, because I found out she was yelling, Billy Walls, Billy Walls.
Well, maybe that guy was lying.
Nah, Billy Walls is telling the truth, man.
He's got photographic evidence.
That's Billy Walls,
Billy
man.
Walls
Billy
is
Walls
not
doesn't
lying.
need to lie.
Billy Walls is the kind of guy, on your way home from school, you see him looking out the top window of someone's house with his shirt off. And his mother's in the background.
Yeah.
Mother's in the back. Not the daughter, the mother's in the background.
All right, so then
Smoking in Newport.
all right, so then when did you go to the military? Wait, you went to
85,
jail, correct?
I went to jail first, yeah.
What did you go
what?
to jail for?
Being
A
stabbed.
million little shits. No, it was a million little shits. Like a bunch of misdemeanors that added up to, now you have to stay with us.
What? They said you should come and stay with us.
You should come and stay with
How
us.
old were you, 18?
For 1 year, son. Yeah, I was 17 when the shit happened, but I was 18 when I got, you know, actually the year I had to spend.
What were the petty things?
Possession of burglars' tools, petty theft, you know, stuff like that.
What are
Robbery-
burglars' tools?
like a stethoscope to listen to a
burglars'
skit.
tools, like shit you use to steal.
What were
Like
you
what?
remember what it was?
like a lead
I
pipe.
had, you know, I got caught with one of those. It was a Christmas box wrapped up. It was hollow. It looks like a gift,
Right.
but there's nothing in it. I got caught with one of those. So
How is that a fucking?
Wait, you were
that's
in the
illegal
box?
to have that, man.
You were in the
It's
box like a
illegal.
No, I was
Trojan
getting ready to
horse
put
kind of
some
thing?
radios in that motherfucker. Put some shit in
Oh,
there.
okay.
It was illegal. That's illegal. That's a burglar's tool, man.
Whoa.
Can't have no
this whole-
fake box that gift wrap with nothing in it and walk into a department store. You just get crap.
This whole shit is so old school. You know, it's like
I
Thunderbird.
don't
and
think
like
people still do that. I hope
hollowed
Yeah, but
out
I don't
gifts.
even know. You would go and what were you gonna? Oh, you were gonna put.
stuff into the box. There you
Got
go.
it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
some-
a burglar's tool, man.
Oh, so like shoplifter.
Yeah.
That's
I was good, man. I never got caught shoplifting.
Except that one.
When
You
you
got
went
I
out
got
with
caught
box.
with. I got caught when I
Burglars
thought I
too.
was so good that I was going to take other people and train them. That's when I got caught. It's idiots.
You were gonna.
I
Open
told you not to do that, but you did it anyway. Look at us now. Ka-chink, chink.
I was a huge shoplifter myself. I love
Yeah,
shoplifting.
I gave it up, man. It's,
I felt real proud of
it's a
myself.
very stressful way to make a living.
Yeah, all my friends would take advantage of me for it too. They would, because they knew that I was good at it. So they
Yeah.
would use my bad self-esteem to make me steal stuff for them. They'd be like, "Oh, come on, Moshe, you're the best. You're the only one that can do it." And I'd be like, "Oh, really?" And so I go steal them booze, and then I got busted. I got busted one time, and they all just immediately
It's very
turned and walked
embarrassing.
away. Super embarrassing.
Very
in the
embarrassing.
store.
Anywhere.
Right outside of the
Everyone's
store.
looking at you.
Didn't your uncle actually told me that they have to see you take it.
You have to leave the store.
Uncle Ray told me that they have to see you.
You can't go
take
by
it.
what Uncle Ray said.
Well,
He's
that's
not,
what
he's-
I'm-
He's
yeah.
not exactly a lawyer or even a real police officer.
He's not even. Wasn't he?
He was
said
school safety, man.
Yeah,
So he only
yeah.
could tell you what can happen at a school. You can't. If that takes place at a school, he
I
might
think
know
he
that.
said he was a security officer for 30
At
years.
school.
But it
Yeah.
is
School.
true that they have to wait outside. You have to leave the
You got to walk out with it. But I'm
threshold,
saying
yeah.
they know when you're doing it because they seen you. There's cameras everywhere, man.
Right.
They seen you. It's not
Yep.
about. It's not if they seen you. They did see you. Every inch of that store is.
Well,
you know,
especially now.
yeah. you know.
What was the best thing? The biggest thing you stole?
Stores. Like, you know what the biggest thing was? Back then they used to have it was much more lax, you know, and people were more trusting, you know.
Yeah.
So back then you could go into a store with a bunch of girls and there'd be one guy working in like a Radio Shack,
Right.
and he's 19, he's by himself.
Right.
That's what? Come on, man. Go in there with some fine girls. They start talking, flirting with him. While he's talking to the girl, somebody goes in the back, opens the back door, and you do the whole inventory.
The whole inventory was
the whole
the biggest
inventory
thing.
while he's in the front rapping to the chick. Fill up a truck, man.
Wow,
Yeah.
we never did anything that big. We would go
Yeah.
into the store, and one of us would steal the booze or the cigarettes or whatever, and then the other one would go up to the checker and say at Safeway and be like,
Wouldn't it
and
be
say,
funny as I'm saying this, you start seeing police cars pulling up.
Yeah.
We heard you on the podcast.
he would walk up to the checker and ask them, "Do you guys sell bird cages?" And no Safeway ever has sold bird cages, but for some reason we thought that would give us a reason to leave. They'd be like, "No, we don't have bird cages." And be like, "Okay," and then that's what would be our reason for coming in, not buying anything, and leaving, because we were really there looking for a bird
actually,
cage
that was in your book, and I actually agree with that.
with the idea.
Yeah, like the idea of asking for something, because you don't know where they sell. Maybe they
Right.
do sell
Right.
bird cages.
But they don't.
So you would clear out. So you would have to
We did that. Yeah, that happened a couple times.
rent a
man.
truck.
Rent a truck. Steal the truck.
That's
You're
like
a
a
criminal,
rental.
man. Criminals don't pay bills, man. You steal the truck. Everything is stolen, man. That's why I got out of that life, man. It's just too much stress. You're scared on the way over there because the truck is stolen. Before you even do anything, the truck is stolen. You're in a stolen. Then you're in the truck with stolen goods, and the truck is stolen.
And you know how.
And then the people that are in the truck are stupid. You know, they're drug addicts or whatever. They start freaking out. All of that it's really high stress, man.
did you have a crew, or it was just?
Yeah, it was crew. It was the same people that
It's King Pythons, man.
It wasn't King Pythons. That was a whole different.
There was a second.
These
phase.
guys wasn't
Sorry.
gangbangers. They was just like criminals, man.
How long did you do it for?
Maybe 3-4 years. Yeah.
Oh, just straight up, you were a criminal,
100%.
and you were going to school.
Yeah. And then when I went to the military, it took like 2 years for that whole psyche to leave, like that whole way of thinking. You know, I was the kind of guy that if I met you, if I was being nice to you, it was for a reason. It wasn't to be a friend. You know? It was like I'm trying to roll you over. You know what I'm saying? How can I get over on this person? Yeah. And then you start getting in touch with other environments, and you realize that that's not the only way to
Well,
live.
you know what's funny? All right, because you talked about, first of all, you had interesting jail stories. Explain to people what the talking on the telephone is.
Oh yeah, they blow the bowl out and talk through the toilet. I never did that, man.
Yeah, explain to people what that is, because the listeners may not know what that is.
But lockup is on. They might know that. No, anyway, people blow the water out the toilet bowl and they put their face in there. And they have a conversation with someone else who has their face in their toilet.
That's funny.
It's talking shit at a premium.
And they were called talking on the phone.
It's called talking
It would
shit.
amaze me that they would do that and they would act like they're really getting over. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody that bad, son. I seen a lot of things in there that, I was like, come on, man, really?
Tell us.
I remember one time this female inmate this was an ugly chick too, that nobody would give two winks at in the street. Took her underwear off and threw them on the guard walk, and 8 men dove on her and started fighting like alligators over the drawer. Hush, hush, hush. Oh, some funky inmate panties, man.
That's hilarious.
These guys must all have life, the way they acted. Yeah, man.
Was it like rapey and shit? Was it gross?
Rape? Nah, there was no rape when I was there. No, I seen a dude get jammy put on his face though.
A what now?
He got shanked?
A dick put on his face. He came and he sat down, and another guy came out and put his dick on his cheek. Man, I see.
Did the guy? Can you explain the scenario? Where
He
was
started
it?
a fight though.
You don't
he
say.
didn't let the guy get away with it. I seen that happen, man.
Where the guy was in the
guy came. They have you on a tier, right? So everyone knows if I come on a tier, whatever, about 2 or 3 days, you know me, whatever. So everybody's on the tier. The new guy came on. He was his first day. He came and he put his bunk there, the little bed rolled down, and he sat down at one of the tables. And then this other guy just came right out, put his dick on his cheek, man.
He's like, oh, there's a new dude. Let's do the dick cheek.
How long
Let's do
did
the
that
dick
take?
on the cheek.
Did it take like
The
about
old
a
dick
minute?
on the cheek
Did
game.
It was
seem
instant. Soon as he sat down like this.
That's great that dude's mind works so quickly. He's like, new inmate, take out my
I
dick.
guess I'm home sweet. Oh Lord.
Home sweet dick.
Dick on the
Like,
cheek,
he
man.
held his dick to the guy's face, and then the guy turned,
Put it on his face, man. He went over there and put it on his face.
and then the guy turned and was like, "Yeah, what the fuck is that?"
The guy jumped up and they started having a hell of a fight, man.
And the guy's dick was still out?
ever seen on me.
Dick was out
While they were fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, man.
Well, I think you should deserve that for what he did. Man.
Absolutely.
You definitely deserve
The
to
guy
get
who-
beat up.
The guy who got the dick put on his cheek, he represented, but I'm still sure that he doesn't feel satisfied.
He doesn't tell the story.
He'll never feel satisfied.
All right. He doesn't feel triumphant.
He'll never be able to beat that guy long enough, man.
All right. So, and then you got out of jail.
Yeah.
And you went into
Never went back. 'Cause that's what's up.
Yeah. All right. And then you went into the
To the Navy.
How'd you get from jail to the Navy?
There's a couple guys that put dicks on cheeks
Walked
in the
down the
Navy
street
too, right?
and signed up. Huh?
Literally just
In the
walked.
Navy, yes, that happens in the Navy, man.
A couple dick cheek games in the
I'm not
Navy.
gonna front. The Navy. Think about it. Those guys that go underwater for long times or whatever. Guys volunteer for that duty. So
Yeah. So there's
it's a high incidence of dick on the cheek.
It's an epidemic, man. It's a naval epidemic. Dick on the cheek.
Operation Dick on the Cheek.
Operation Dick on the
Operation Stop Dick on the Cheek.
And did you in what was the name of the town you guys grew up in?
cheek. I grew up in Brooklyn partially and in Roosevelt, Long Island.
All right. And were there? So was Navy like the first time you spent a lot of time with white people?
Very first time.
And what was your
I'm gonna
first
be honest,
impression?
because when I went to school, it had busing. So I was going to an all black school, and I got bussed out to mixed high school, junior high school. Then we moved all black school again.
Right.
So I spent very little time around other cultures until I went to the military, and that's when I got to be around Asians, whites, Puerto Ricans, everything. All cohabitating. You got to know everybody, man. I got to like country western music. You couldn't tell me nothing about country western music until I had to do a tour in the Mediterranean, and it's nothing else to do but listen to this guy right next to you is playing, Conway Twitty over and over and over again. Before you know, you start singing it. You know what I mean? It just grows on you.
Right.
If it's good music, it's gonna grow on you. I don't care if you say I don't like that kind of music. If I take you and isolate you with the good version of it or whatever, and you're forced to listen to, you're gonna develop
Yeah, I
taste
mean,
for it.
eventually Conway Twitty's gonna put his dick on.
That's exactly
That's
right.
what his dick's gonna be with cheeks. In the Navy.
You put your dick on a cheek.
Put your dick on people's cheek. In the Navy.
And then, were you in Beirut? Did you tell me that
Yeah, man. Yeah.
when the shit popped off?
That very day, that's when I decided I wanted to be out of the military.
All right, so you were in Beirut.
Ship was on patrol, you know, and we were going in at night. You could see we was doing like, I guess, a support thing because there was a lot of ships that were firing, and there was a lot of traces going over the landscape, you know, all night long. You seen that, and then in the morning you seen people driving around like nothing was going on. That's bugging me out. In the daytime you seen people going. They were going. How are you going to work? Where do you work at?
Right.
I know it's not the mall. I mean, because who's going shopping? Who's going to go shopping? But you seen a lot of traffic on the freeways or whatever. And then at night that would happen again. And then one morning we got up and as we were standing there smoking cigarettes, you seen this like a mushroom cloud, you know, slowly like rising on the land because the land was far enough to where the buildings looked like toys or whatever. And then you see that big cloud and it's like, wow, what was that? And then about maybe 2 minutes later you hear boo, the sound comes.
Wow.
2 minutes later?
A minute, maybe
Wow,
something like that.
crazy.
It wasn't instant, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's so crazy.
You see that big, it's like, and I said to myself, a lot of people must have just got murked.
That was the Marine.
It was the Marine barracks.
Oh,
It was
wow.
Marine
It was
barracks
the
when they
Marine
killed
barracks.
280 people.
200, yeah.
And Reagan
Yeah,
said
man.
we will not negotiate with terrorists. America
Yeah.
left 2 days later. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
they
saying.
didn't
Like, we will
negotiate.
not negotiate with terrorists. We're getting the fuck
But
out
we
of here.
are outta here.
But seriously, we are going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man, that was serious, man.
Yeah, Beirut. I read that book From Beirut to Jerusalem. The guy Thomas Friedman,
Yeah.
who was like the main journalist in Beirut at the time, he said it was like the worst place on earth at that time. Like the whole city was pockmarked with bullets. I mean, everything was.
People
it
was
hell.
acting like it wasn't happening. They was walking around like, you know. Me and my son was talking about that the other day. I was like, look on the news. Look how these people. Imagine if we was born there.
Right.
These people are acting like it's normal and everything is blown up. It's dead bodies laying in the street behind them. I think they were showing some footage from Mogadishu or whatever. I'm like, yo, man, that's hardcore, man.
Yeah, I'm just lucky to be born in America.
Just lucky to be born over here. I don't care if you like it or love it or whatever. You can say you hate it. You can always sign up to go over there.
Well, that's what I always say when I have a lot of problems with the U.S. government, but really, we're so powerless. It's like I always say, we're just lucky there aren't people with machetes in the street hacking off limbs and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we got pretty.
like
We got
Syria,
It's
right
not like
now.
you don't go
Syria
there.
right now is the worst.
Slitting throats as we speak.
Right. As we speak.
Yeah.
And it's the government doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
Yeah.
an unorganized group. It's
not like the King
somebody with the
Pythons.
proper equipment to slice your head off.
Right, if they had the
And
King
keep it moving.
Pythons in Syria right now, things would stop.
The King Pythons would be shot up.
Rocky
Swiss
would
cheese
step
pythons.
in. He would sip some Thunderbird, and he would put a stop to what's happening in Syria right now.
All right, so you decided you wanted to get out, and then how did you get out? This is a good story.
Oh, the way I got out was I came home and I was hanging with my brother, and he's like, "So, yo, man, you really like being in the military?" I was like, "Not as much as this shit." You know?
This is 85.
Yeah, man. This is-
Oh, you looked
it's hot.
around at what was happening with Eddie, and were like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah, this is-
the
yeah,
difference
yeah.
between
It's
what
like, well,
you've been
if you
doing.
want to get out, you know, just tell me. And I got friends, and I was like, yo, if you can make it happen, you know what I'm saying? And it just so happened that what's the guy's name? He's dead now. He was a state senator. and he
Strom
was-
Thurmond?
Strom Thurmond. He was known for being racist and all that
Right.
stuff. He wanted my brother to perform in his living room.
What, like in blackface?
No, just come over and do a party for his grandchildren or whatever.
That's so
And
crazy.
Show up.
That sounds racist. Just
Oh, it's horrifying.
But some
Except
kind of way, it was an agreement made that yes, we'll come over and do that. But if you help, you know, pull the strings for me, and he pulled the string. Like
That's crazy.
Military. And then some kind of way, the show got canceled.
after Charlie was out, and
I was
Eddie
out.
Somehow
It was-
there was a date
And
mix
then the
up.
show was canceled. I forgot how it got canceled, but I know that there was no show, and I was out.
That's
And that was that.
excellent.
that is
Excellent.
great.
Excellent.
And then what did you do?
I started working, you know, my brother and coming out to Hollywood, and you know, it was the beginning of the journey that I'm still on right now.
What year was that?
It was 85
and
86, you know. That's when it was all good.
That's
especially in LA, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
LA was like, I was considered, LA was like going to heaven back in 85.
Pre-AIDS.
Coming out the Navy.
Right.
It was pre-AIDS. Yeah, coming out the Navy, going to LA.
Tell us.
Living up on Doheny Drive. What? I can't remember. It was a big blur. That was one big blur.
When
man.
you first came out,
fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
What were you
Put it like
exactly-
this, man. When I see these shows like Entourage, or The Real World, I'm like, somebody must have came up to that house and got that idea, because that's exactly what was going on there. It was a house. It was a big house. It was 8 guys, and then, you know, early 20s or whatever, living in the same house. Each room had a different story going on, but it was all one big story at the same time. Jersey Shore, any shows you look at right now, we was really doing it. It just wasn't a reality show back then to cover it, you know?
So you were like Johnny Drama?
The Hound. Whichever one is the Hound, that's who I was like.
You were just busy fucking the whole time?
At all times.
Yeah. Everybody's like partying and doing drugs. You're like, I'll be in the bedroom, guys.
Never had it like that till I came out here on that tip. It was like, wow, man.
And you were like, let me show you a trick that I learned in jail and the Navy. It's called dick on the cheek.
And
I never put my dick on nobody's cheek.
Not even in the 80s?
Never in my life.
On the girls,
no
the girls.
I put it in their mouth. I never put it on their cheek. I'm not playing with you.
I've actually put my dick on a cheek, so I feel really
I
I feel like
put it
I
on
played
the
this
cheek.
game.
you would. And what was your official title? Were you like
I was
security or something?
I was the head of security.
Got it.
That was all a joke, man.
Right. Did you know anything about security? Were
No,
you checking
I knew
perimeters?
that you better not fuck with my brother. That's all I know. That's all I knew. If you come around and you say anything negative or try to pop anything off, you was getting your ass whipped. And that's not a good template for a security team. You know? You gotta be able to make decisions and go, this person right here is not the person you beat up. You know, it's another celebrity. He's just a little drunk. That's what happened. Think about it, what those bodyguards did with Drake and the other guy,
Chris Brown.
Yeah, that wasn't. Chris Brown got a big gash on his chin and all that.
Poor guy,
It wasn't
man.
from Drake.
Right.
It's from one of the bodyguards. His other guy, somebody did an autopsy. His whole skull is flipped back. That wasn't from Chris Brown. That was the bodyguards, man. So basically, when I seen that go down, I was like, those guys got security that's like their homies or something like that. So
Right.
dudes, and that's what's going to happen every time when you got people like that.
Yeah,
Same
that's
thing.
Those ain't
Yeah,
professional.
you see that, and you saw Tony Parker, basketball player, was there.
Right, he had a lawsuit now.
He's suing the club for $20 million. Club's gonna sue Drake.
Right.
Club's gonna sue Drake's boy for $20 million. It's like
Same thing with Rihanna. That wasn't Chris Brown. That was one of his bodyguards.
You're absolutely right.
Funny.
It's gonna be like it's a cascade.
You gotta make
now.
it. I think Ice-T spoke on that. He's like, you got these dudes, man. That, the only thing they really can do for you is bust somebody's head open.
Right.
Now, do you want that?
Yeah,
Because
well,
they
that's-
will do it for you, man.
Yeah.
Right.
They gonna be
They want to
loyal.
be useful.
I've
Yeah, exactly.
seen like
Right.
Jay-Z's bodyguard is the biggest fucking dude I've ever seen in my life. That big, you ever see the dude?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a
yeah.
giant fucking Thor-looking white dude. Tiger Woods security, you wouldn't know them except they're just all wearing like black turtlenecks, and it's fine. And they're wearing black turtlenecks, and they will. I saw a guy come up to Tiger Woods one time, and one of Tiger Woods, and he was like, Tiger. Tiger doesn't look at him. One of his security guys just touches the guy on his shoulder on some Vulcan type shit.
Uh-huh.
The guy withered a little bit and went, Tiger, help.
Yeah.
Tiger doesn't look, and then the guy just
Disappeared.
Yes,
Literally.
turned around and ran away. And it's one of those things. It's like that security. No one's getting sued. No one's
Right.
getting shit. No one's gonna
Right.
look bad. No one's gonna look like
They got
motherfucker.
the
You
real
test
deal.
me, motherfucker.
They
and
got
all
the
that
real
shit.
deal.
So did you fight a lot of people?
Of course, man. It's part of growing up. Well,
No, but did you fight people when you were working security?
yes,
And did Eddie get sued all the time?
never.
How?
I don't know why. I really have no answer for that. But I know that we stopped doing that before it became, eventually that's what's going to start happening, The
Right.
guys who was doing stuff like that. I remember one guy, man, we was at the forum, this guy literally punched his face off. Like it was, You understand? Like he had
No,
one of them
I don't
4-finger rings.
understand.
He had the 4-finger ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he hit this guy, and it cut separated the cheek, like made it go.
Oof.
No more dicks on the cheek for him.
No.
Shit was flipped back, man. Yeah, man.
At the LA Forum
At
or
the LA Forum, man. All the guy was trying to do was get an autograph, man.
from
Eddie. Yeah.
He really was just like, Mr. Murphy, will you?
And
Bam!
the guy that was with us was one of those guys, you know, that was trying to impress Eddie or whatever. He had muscles rippling from everywhere. He was waiting for something to happen, and he chose that moment to demonstrate his ability.
I can't imagine Eddie being into that.
No, that's why the guy got fired. But I'm saying you that's what you learn, that you just can't hire a guy because he has muscles. You know, he has to also have a brain. You know?
Yeah.
And some people hire dudes because they just physically imposing, or they may be sensei, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like the dude is not trained in the field of security. He's trained in the field of beating people up. It's two different things. You know?
When did you start thinking like you should write and do all that shit?
Oh, the whole time I
'Cause
was
you
doing it.
always
The
had-
whole time
you-
I was doing it, man. You know, I was never, you know, that was never my ambition to be, you know, someone, you know, century.
Right.
that was never one of my ambitions. So I was doing that immediately, man. I was trying to find a way to get, you know, something else that could be working for me. Definitely.
What was the first thing you wrote?
The first thing I wrote that got bought was a film called The Peddler, and when I wrote it, I turned it in. I remember I turned it in. They read it, and I was like, "So what's up?" And everyone was like, "We agree this is really nice, but we're not trying to do a movie like this." The movie was the Nicky Barnes story.
Got it.
Which when I tried to get it done was when Beverly Hills Cop 1 had just come out, and the town wasn't leaning. They wasn't even thinking about making movies like that at that point. You know, if you think about it, at that point there were no black gangster movies made. It was Beverly Hills Cop and Richard Pryor movies. You know, everything
Right.
was, you know, the funny black dude or whatever. It wasn't no
Right.
real gangster films being done for a while.
That's the thing. What was it like from the inside out? Because it was like Richard made shitty movies, basically. You know what I mean? Like there had been no great.
Well,
like Eddie was the first.
This is what
really
you gotta understand
great,
about any of that is that black people are in movies. They don't make movies.
Right.
Just only now do we have like Tyler Perry's and guys like that. But it's only one. It's
Right.
not like 15 Tyler Perry's. It's one Tyler Perry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, when you see a black person in a movie, they're in the movies. They're not making it.
right.
Right.
You know.
That's
And
some
did-
bullshit right there.
But Eddie, you guys were kind of making movies. I mean, it was like he was getting shit greenlit. I mean, he was saying, "I want to do this," and then it would sort of go from there, right?
Yeah, that's I seen it happen with him. Yeah. But I'm saying, for the most part, when you see a black person in a movie, you know, they're in it.
What was the first good black gangster movie? Was it Boys in the Hood?
It was
Like
uh,
the proper
First good one. The
serious.
first good one
Oh,
to
New
me. Boys in the Hood came out before New Jack, didn't it?
New Jack came out summer of '91.
How do you know that?
Because I just got a good memory.
That's
for shit like
incredible.
that. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Both of those were excellent. You know?
Yeah, they were both good
Excellent.
movies.
What about Colors?
Colors was good, but it wasn't from a black perspective. it was from a white
was
perspective.
Colors good?
Colors was
I'm gonna
great.
tell you what was good about Colors.
I loved Colors.
The song at the end.
That's
Ice-T.
Ice-T, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great.
That's
song.
what made the movie a hit.
I thought
If you ask me, that
I
song
agree.
at the end is what made, because at the end it was
Colors.
Like, he was like getting ready to get up and
I
all of
am a
sudden you heard
nightmare
burn,
walking, psychopath talking.
burn. And that's what, that's
King
what
of the
made that
Jungle.
movie.
Just
I
like
loved
Gangsta
that, but it
Style.
was also Robert Duvall and Sean Penn. I
Well,
mean,
that,
it was.
but it's
that was good,
basically
yeah.
like a white. I'm sure it's white guys on screen like most of the time. Whereas
Well,
Boys
it was
in the
a-
Hood is like just black people.
right.
New Jack City.
Boys in the Hood educated me, man. You know, I used to have it at the wrong. There you go.
This was under the closing credits.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had never that whole. That shit's fun.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Cup, cup.
You guys were never really into like Eddie was never that hip hop. You were more hip hop,
Never.
right?
Yeah. Just me, man. Yeah.
And would you guys go back and forth about that? He just was.
Oh,
he
yeah,
just
he
thought
did-
it was crass or something.
It wasn't just him. It was a lot of people, you know, from his generation felt that way. You know,
But isn't he younger than you though?
yeah.
But
Interesting.
psychologically,
Psychologically, there's a lot of them that felt that, you know, this is temporary.
right?
You know, I ain't gonna mention no names. They think I'm not gonna make them seem uncool now.
Who were sitting?
Quite a few of them that was on some.
You really think all this poem telling is gonna stick around?
Yeah, okay. Poem telling, huh?
Yeah.
Go look at poem telling. Jay-Z owns basketball teams and all that stuff now, you know.
Yeah.
Some of these people that were saying poem telling, they don't own anything.
New Jack City came out 4 months before Boys in the Hood. Both came out
so
in
so it was really
91.
close. Really close. Yeah, definitely.
I thought Colors was incredible. New Jack
But
City.
who's the black guy? I remember.
No,
Damon,
it's not from
Damon
a. It's not from a
Wayans
black perspective.
dances at the beginning.
It's
of
not
it.
from a black perspective. It's from the cop's perspective, and it's about gangs.
Right.
So it was like the first street shit, but it wasn't about with a protagonist that was from that world. Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, and Deep Cover is an incredible movie. Also,
Is Deep Cover good?
I just said
As a movie?
it is good.
Deep Cover.
Well,
Deep
that doesn't
Cover.
mean it's final.
No, I
I'm just
know.
asking. I'm just putting
Deep
it out
Cover.
to the
Deep Cover.
There's Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah. That was a good movie.
So good.
Yeah, the one with Snoop Dogg.
Clarence Williams.
Right,
III
Murder Was the
too,
Case.
right?
That
Clarence
wasn't
Williams.
Murder Was the Case. He had another rap on that Deep Cover joint.
Deep
1-8.
Cover.
Yeah.
That was the song, Deep Cover.
Yeah, that was a hot movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was actually the first time anyone heard from Snoop Doggy Dogg. That was his
that is
debut.
true.
Right.
That is true. Also, have you
Back when
listened?
Snoop used to look at the ground when he rapped.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Doggy Style recently?
It's so the best album.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
he's been consistent
he
for a
had
long
so
time.
many
man.
rhymes that he was doing like 32 bar verses because he had so many fucking rhymes.
It's
crazy.
That album is the album of my childhood. That is the quintessential, more than the Chronic actually, because I listened to the Chronic, but I was pretty young. I was like probably like 13, 14, and then Doggy Style was when I was in the height of my 15-year-old, 16-year-old time, and then that was my quintessential album of my youth.
He got his security together.
Oh yeah,
'Cause he was on-
went through the same thing. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. It's just something that happens. 'Cause if you come from somewhere and you don't have anything, and all of a sudden your art brings you riches or whatever, your friends that was there before the money came. You more familiar with them than you are with this new world.
Yeah, will you explain
Right.
the idea? Because
You know?
white people can be very
Right.
derisive about like,
Yeah.
oh, he came with a posse.
No,
Right.
he's-
Explain
he-
the posse to people because
Those are
it's
the people
valid.
I'm comfortable with, man.
Yeah.
I know these people.
Yeah.
You know, this new attention and the money and all that, that's new.
Right.
But the people who I feel comfortable with are the ones that you don't know, but they were with me before all this came. So to make themselves feel comfortable, they bring their world with them into this new world, and there's going to be adjustments made. Like, you can't be socking people in the face and all this other stuff like you do, in another environment, because over here people got lawyers and people pick the phone up and press charges and all that. In the hood, people get knocked out. They don't necessarily go home and call the cops.
Right.
Don't go knock somebody out on Rodeo Drive and see if the cops ain't getting called.
They're not going to handle
it's
it.
a whole
on the
different
drive.
thing going down. You might scrap it out with your neighbor or whatever, and it's all said and done. No cops involved at all. But you go outside of that environment, it's going to definitely be cops involved.
Did you find yourself changing in that environment?
Oh yeah. I'm calling the cops. Yeah.
But you'd also been through the
I'm gonna
military.
tell you why
too.
I'm calling the cops. It's not because I'm afraid. It's because I'd rather be the one calling them, because somebody's calling them.
Right.
And I'd rather for it to be me.
I'm the one
than
that
for you
knocks.
to call them, and then they get there and they listen to your story first.
Yeah. Did you find that you, like going from the Navy to having a job and then being around Hollywood, did you find yourself changing personally, not just fighting shit? Did you find yourself like getting full of yourself or getting like forming
No,
bad
man. I just
habits?
found myself. What I've noticed about me is that I can think of at least 5 or 6 distinct different environments that I lived in, and in all of those environments, I excelled in, even the negative ones. You know what I mean? Like when I was in jail, it wasn't like really a punishment. All my friends was in there with me. We was doing the same things that people that we was doing on the streets in there. It was like clicked up in there and all that. I wasn't hungry while I was in there. I had food. No, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I knew I didn't want to be in that environment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got out of it. When I went to the military, it was a challenge. But again, in 4 years, I was less than 4 years. I was an E5. Once you make E5, things get pretty easy for you. It's that you become more of a management type person than the actual hands-on dude. So I got to that point in my naval career real quick. So I did well in there. And
Right.
then when I came out the military and came into the Hollywood environment, I had success there too. So
What are you lousy at?
was my lousy at? I don't know, man.
Ping pong.
I don't really. No, I'm not lousy at ping pong. I don't really focus on what I'm lousy at because it's obviously something I don't do a lot. You know?
Yeah. In your fucking face.
No, I mean,
But
you know.
anything you try, you pretty much excel at.
And when I meet chicks and they try to focus on what I'm lousy at, that's a death knell for them.
Can you tell me about what was the thing you told me, the 3 o'clock diss?
The 3 o'clock diss.
Eddie would have a girl over to the house, and she'd stay the night, and then at like around 3 o'clock, he would go upstairs, and a security
It would
guard-
have to be something wrong. It wasn't just like that would happen to anybody. It's zero tolerance for BS, man. As soon as you try to play one of those cards, you know, that you play with Joe Blow,
Oh, Eddie would disappear, and then a security guy would come down and be like,
tap me on the shoulder, would you come with me, please?
Tiger, help me.
Would you come with me, please?
basically.
Where are we going? Is there a limo waiting outside for you? Limo? My clothes. Your bags are already in the car.
You told me a story one time about the time.
Get out. Try to play games.
The time, didn't you say something about Eddie he got Jimi Hendrix's vest or some shit?
Oh yeah, man! It looked like a child was wearing that vest. That vest, it must have shrunk up from the years.
Tell the story. All right, so
what story you talking about? When he was looking at the vest.
yeah.
It
This is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, we was all in the room, and it was I call it like an ass kissing session. You know what I'm saying? You get around a certain level of star, and you see people like really go out of their way to kiss ass, man. It really bothers me, So we was in the room, and this little teeny vest is in this glass case. I mean, it looked like Webster would have a hard time. And he looked at the vest. He looked at the vest and said, "Yeah, that vest is fly out of rock that vest." And so I say, "There's no way you can rock that vest. Your son can't even rock that vest." And then it was the brown nose in the room. I was like,
I think you can fit it.
like take it out and put it on.
This is Jimi Hendrix
Jimi
vest
Hendrix
from like
vest.
Woodstock or something.
Eddie was like, "Well, I could probably bring that back in style." I was like, "You're not bringing that back in style. That vest is not for you, man."
See that?
And then there's somebody else going, "I think you can pull it off," and I'm going, "That's the devil talking to you right there."
You and him can kiss my ass.
Trying to appeal to your sense of your vainness or whatever. I'm gonna tell you, "Oh yes, you can do whatever you want." It's like nobody needs people around them that tells them bullshit like that. And if you happen to be a celebrated person, someone who gets a lot of adulation or whatever, what I found is that it's healthy to just cut those type of people away. When they show up, because they're not ever going to tell you the truth.
Right.
It's going to always be some sunshine, but people that are doing that are doing it because they're trying to rock you to sleep. Ultimately, that's the only reason why every time I talk to you, it's always one tone. And you're the greatest, you're the best, blah blah blah. It's because you wanted me to, at one point to become dependent on that from you. And then that's when you can, do something to go in my pocket or whatever. You can take advantage.
I say celebrities are like the ultimate pretty girl. You know how pretty girls.
It's just like being a pretty girl. Yeah,
but the ultimate, like everybody always says, "Oh, let me hold the door for you. Oh, you want me to buy dinner?" But a celebrity's like 1,000% more than that. Just people on the dick.
And it's like your prettiness.
It's the same goal too. What do you want to do to a pretty girl?
$1
You want to fuck her.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing with celebrities. They want to fuck you.
And did that create static with you and Eddie?
No.
I mean, but like,
you mean celebrity.
No, not you, but the people around. When you're the one.
Sometime back then,
when you're the one going, yo, don't put, because didn't he put the vest on?
No,
because everybody's a human.
The vest is inside of a. He bought it. It's in a display case.
Yeah,
got it.
Because everybody's a human being, and so their egos start to puff up. Everybody's going, "You're the shit, you're the shit, you're the shit." And if one person's going like, "You're just you're a regular dude,"
Yeah,
it's like,
and I'll say this part too. I think it was obvious to him that he couldn't wear that vest. Okay? Just the fact that he said that and he had someone else. It was almost like when in Conan when James L. Jones said,
Power. I'll show you power. Come to me, my child.
and this woman jumped off a cliff. Remember that? And he said, "That is power." He was really getting off on his own ego. He made his girl commit suicide to show someone else how powerful he was.
Right.
So I think that certain levels of celebrity or whatever, those things happen where they may suggest something to a person, basically to allow you to make a fool of yourself.
Right.
Because you are kissing ass. Watch my ass kisses. Watch this. Don't that vest look good? Yeah, that vest looks great. You know, you put that vest on, the whole country wearing that vest. And they could be getting off on that, laughing at you, but they still do that, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And then would they get mad at you for like, hey, Charlie?
Nobody never showed me they was mad. You know, I think I was calling them on the real. Like, you know, how could you get mad? You know, what you're saying is bullshit, you know? So you know it and I know it. Just that I illuminated it, you know?
Right. Great.
On some real shit?
Was always on some real shit. You know, me and my brother Vern was always told, you know, you two guys always come around and rain on my parade. I'm tired of your rainmakers being in my forest. Because we'll come tell the ass kids are quick. This guy right here is no good.
Oh, you would say that to Eddie?
And you know why I'm talking about this now? I'm openly talking about it because we both know that we was 100% right.
You and Vern?
100% right about everyone we ever called that. Yes, those niggas are all gone. They bums. Everything I said they was. Every last one of them.
And does Eddie know that?
Yeah, he knows that, man.
Do you guys joke about it?
Of course. Of course, yeah. Everybody had their moment. You come around and he's a new face around, or a new whatever, and he's a different energy. And then you get to know him and you realize the energy is it's not good. You understand?
Yeah.
It's all designed to take advantage and manipulate so that this person can get whatever they came to get, you know, prosper in whatever way they're trying to prosper in.
Yeah, it's funny.
You know?
Like, people hate admitting that they don't act normal around celebrities. It's impossible.
Exactly.
It's fucking impossible to act normal around celebrities.
At what level?
Because
it does change. Like if it's a comedian, it'll be different for me.
I agree.
Than
if it's a comedian, that's Eddie's the most famous comedian I've ever met, and I'm pretty close to normal, but not all the way.
But I don't think I'd be
I just
normal.
can't be.
I don't think when people come to the champs, that's my equalizer. I feel like everything's normal.
Do you ever like swing the other way and try to be like super like
Well, that's the thing people
like
do.
ass kissy,
People do
and
that.
then
where
you
they're
feel
like,
weird for doing that.
They try to be insulting, and like
They go out of their way to show you that I'm not impressed by you, and then doing that, they insult you.
Right. They're trying hard to be
and
normal.
then doing that, you're acting out of yourself when you go out of your way to show that you're not, when you are impressed. Okay, so if you are, that's the truth. You are impressed. So when you try to go out of your way to say you're not, and in doing that, you're insulting the person. You know, I've had people stand 5 feet away from you and act like they don't know who you are, but they're saying your name.
Right.
Loud enough for you to hear.
Yeah.
You know, to the other person.
And then they gotta watch TV.
Like, yeah, man, I ain't impressed about you. That goes on. Yeah.
But you must have.
bitch.
You must have seen it in your own life. Even people that you've known, as your star starts to rise, even the littlest bit, people you've known from your past, if you're not super close with them, you can watch their energy start to pull away from you and them start to act weird around you.
Right.
And you've known them from before everything, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, why are we only talking about my comedy career all the time, or why? Like,
well, that's a jealousy thing,
or something. It's
that's
some
how
weird...
special you are to me, and that's how much I love you.
That's
yeah, but that's what I would say that you guys are. I mean, at this point, it seems like there's enough normalcy.
Oh
around.
yeah, it's very normal, man. Your kids make it normal,
right?
Because they're not, you know,
they're not kissing your ass.
They're not kissing nobody's ass,
right?
You know, so they make it normal. They keep it real. It brings you right back to the basics. The kids bring you right back because my kids actually don't like the intrusion. You know, you go to a restaurant or whatever, you know, people want to notice you, they're going to come over, they want to interact with you, and the kids are who makes you aware of the fact that that's like, hey man, this is my moment, and I don't really want this person to be a part of it.
Right.
But because you do what you do,
right,
it incites that, you know, it's going to happen.
What you should do is get a big posse of young kids to do security for you.
Big, thick 19-year-olds.
With me, man, I have to be just the way I am, accessible, approachable, all of that, you know, because I'm not in a position to be distant or, you know, like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't have enough money to do that. So, yeah, when you start acting like that, you should have enough money to quit the game.
And also, you're almost like famous for being a funny, tough dude,
friendly guy.
But also
tough guy, but I'm friendly to him. I'm very friendly.
Yes,
very
but also
approachable.
like the Rick James shit is based on you fighting. You know what I mean? Like it's based on a fighting, like
fighting relationship.
Yeah, like it's so
fighting but loving relationship.
Right. So people think of you as that's like their biggest intro to you. It's just like Charlie will be violent.
Possibly.
Oh, well,
Possibly.
are you comfortable talking about the show that you did where you ripped the check out?
Yeah, man. Talk
What
about
happened?
whatever, man.
What happened?
What happened was that I went out and it was a strikeout.
Love it.
It was a strikeout. Now, what happened at that show was that was at a college, Grambling University, and the audience was, for one, when you do a college, for me anyway, since I've been doing comedy, I had kids older than college students. I'm 52 years old now. So when I did that show.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, when I did that show, I'm not going to talk about things in a way that a 27-year-old man is going to. We maybe talk
Black don't crack.
Same thing. But
Black
I'm not
don't
going
crack,
to talk
indeed.
about it the way you're going to talk about it.
Right.
And I really think that audience was expecting more of a clownish type performer. They had never seen me before. They seen the Chappelle show sketch. They never seen me do stand up. And have you ever come to my show? I talk to people like they're grown. These are a bunch of wild kids. And I had done over 100 colleges before that.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a problem. Always had that fear though, like what if these kids are too young to grasp something? Like for instance, if I'm talking about my relationship with my daughter, okay, that's not something that's going to go over well in a college crowd because they don't have kids.
Right.
So what are you talking about? You understand? You have to change certain things. You can't. Certain things that are not a part of that person's life yet are not really going to resonate with them. I know that. Okay.
No. He don't need no help. He's already been served.
I know that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me make a decision. I had done like 100 shows at other colleges. I went to Yale, Purdue, Princeton, all these big schools, and had great success. But then that night when I went around these guys, they showed me the peril, the danger of playing schools that you may run into a group of kids that are kids for real.
Yeah.
They're immature. Okay? The people that was in that room didn't pay to get in. You know why? They can't pay to get in. They live off their mother. You know what I'm saying? They're in there. I'm being paid, but the people in that room, they didn't pay to get in. It's just something to do, and that leads to an unruly audience. And you're not at a professional spot. You're on the campus, so all of that led me to go, okay, wait a minute, this is something that's out of my control. But in my Charlie Murphy fashion, if you say fuck me, then it's fuck you too, point blank. And that's what they were saying to me.
Shut
so
the fuck
I gave them their $30,000 back.
Oh, no, that's the part
because I
where-
want them to understand something. That's more money than anybody that was in that audience that was booing me will make in the next 5 years, okay, while you're still in college. I gave them their money back, and that was just one check. The next day, I went to the House of Blues in Las Vegas, got a standing ovation, and another check for $30,000, and we kept it moving. And the next day, we went to the University of Southern Florida, got another standing ovation, and another check for $30,000, which I also kept. And y'all can keep the $30,000 I gave you and go take some elocution classes, you fucking bum-ass niggas.
See, I knew this was going to be a setup.
So I guess we know your exact asking price.
I mean, we know your price.
That's not my exact asking price. That was what I was getting to do those schools. Don't get it twisted, man. That was school money. That was school money for one show. Okay. You know why I'm saying that, man? Because after that took place, it was just like it went viral on Twitter, and whenever I did black radio, somebody would bring it up. Like that was the end of me. Like, we all heard what happened to you, and I'm like, well, if you want to talk about what happened that night, talk about all the nights that led up to that night where nothing happened.
Context.
Put it in context. Talk about all the other schools that I went to where I had no problem before and after that. Okay, because that happened now a little while ago, and I've done just as many shows since then that I probably had done before that year, and not just in the U.S. I've been all over the world doing it. So if I found the one place in the world where I could step in shit, I know not to go step over there no more. It's that simple.
I like them greenbacks.
Like them greenbacks. That's right.
I'll tell you, the only thing that comics were saying, I never heard anybody say anything like, how could that's the end of him, because everybody's had a fucking eating a shit sandwich.
I'm talking about the flow on Twitter. That's what it was like.
Right, no.
Oh my God, he got booed. Oh wow. It's like, yo, man, listen.
No, but
this is another dynamic of that people don't take into consideration with me as a stand-up comedian. every stand-up comedian that you can name developed in the dark. What I mean by that is by the time you heard his name, he had his feet up underneath him. He knew what he was doing.
Right.
Okay? I didn't have that opportunity. The first time I went on stage, I was Charlie Murphy, the guy from Chappelle show. Let's get it cracking, Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm still here. So whatever false steps I took on the journey, I was able to recover from them. That's my point.
No, I'm saying.
Get him off Twitter.
The only thing I heard any comic saying was, "Damn, I would have just found a way to finish the set and take that $30,000." It was like that was literally nobody was talking shit. Everybody was just like, I don't know. I would have just kept going. I would have got.
Yeah, but those are probably people that wasn't going to be working the next day
for $30,000.
Exactly.
That's right.
That was the whole thing. In the exercise was, look, man, I know who I am. I know what I do, and if you don't like it, here's your money back, because there's so many other people with more money.
Right.
And I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have people jumping over chairs and speaking in English that I don't understand. You know, their own dialect. None of that's going to go on.
They have their own dialect?
Yeah,
Right.
man.
It's just poems on beats, man.
I've been all over the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
I got mad love in Shreveport, New Orleans, all over Louisiana. But when I went on that campus, I met with all of the dumbest people in New Orleans. Was at a university.
It was Grambling?
Yeah, Grambling, yeah.
Bum ass.
They're bum ass motherfuckers.
If you're not a grown man or a grown woman, you may not like my show, and I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't here. I didn't get into the game to entertain children anyway.
Speaking of grown women, you used to use a pickup line.
What's that?
Where you would say, "You strike me as a very spontaneous person."
Oh yeah, I used to run that one. Yeah.
Please tell the listeners that, because that's one of my favorite pickup lines of all time.
That's a very good pickup
It works
line.
when the girl's drinking, though. You know, you have a few drinks with it, and you start, innuendo, and then you just go hard. You have to make eye contact. You strike me as a very spontaneous person, blah blah blah, and you identify yourself as one.
Didn't you
and
say?
if they go let you get past that first hurdle, and now it's wide open and start talking about, let's go to the room right now, without you actually being, saying I want some pussy right now. You seem to be a very spontaneous person, blah. They'll start talking about, yes, I like to do this and that, and blah 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 blah, and it leads them right down the path to, well, prove it.
Do you all really believe this?
You told me the line was, I've heard that spontaneity is a sign of intelligence, and you strike me as a very intelligent person.
Oh my God! There's so many levels of subterfuge.
You know how many
That's so
dumb
good.
bitches went for that line?
Oh God!
They want you to tell them they're intelligent. They want you to tell them that. But see, as I've grown up, man, I've also like grown to have a distaste for dumb bitches. You know what I'm saying? There's no glory in that, man. So what? You scored on, an idiot.
Yeah, it literally is like scoring on
a moron.
Like,
you feel like you took advantage of somebody.
Yeah.
This person is a moron. I'm
feels
not
like
supposed to be
running in the Special Olympics or something.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Damn, I hate a shy bitch.
What did
when you go? I wouldn't be even getting this pussy if she was. If I was as dumb as her, I wouldn't have been smart enough to get it. The only reason why I'm getting it is because I'm smarter than you. It's like, that's not a good feeling.
Well, long term it's not, but in that moment.
Oh yeah, after the bar it's great, man.
Where are you with girls right now?
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I just had this one chick that I kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But I got kids too, so if I get into a relationship with somebody, I start liking them or whatever, it can't just be that I get along with you. You have to get along with my kids too, because my kids lost their mom. You have to be able to get along with them, and then I start looking at things like your parenting skills and all of that. It's not just you're dating me. So this last one, we ran into some obstacles in areas like that. Like, for instance, if you've been married to somebody for 25 years or whatever it was, 20 years, and you wake up in the morning with them, and you wake up and look over at their face, and they look angry. You be like, we really want to know what's wrong. Like, what's wrong with you, White? What's going on? And even if they said nothing, you figure, well, they'll eventually get around and tell me what was bothering them. But if I don't know you that well, and you're waking up like that, I'm thinking maybe you might stab me. You know what I'm saying? Why is your face like that? I don't know you that well. For you to go nothing, and you have this twisted look on your face, and I say, so you're telling me that right now you're relaxed? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to break it down different. You just told me you was relaxed, and when I met you, you was pretty. Right now you're ugly. Now you're comfortable and you're being yourself, but you're ugly. So that's the real you I'm looking at right now.
Right.
Not your mask. Thanks for showing me that. Now get your shit on and get the fuck out of here.
There's a limo waiting outside for you.
There's a limo waiting outside. Your clothes are already in the back seat.
There's a dick on your cheek. Please exit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. What are like the top 5 dumbest things you've done in your life?
So what?
Top 5 dumbest things you've ever done in your life.
I like that question.
Dumbest things?
Yeah.
One of them was joining the King Pythons.
He has regrets to this day.
Yeah, that was dumb. Another one was dumbest things, right? Another one was when going to jail. That was dumb, you know. And going there and being comfortable there, like not realizing that this is the beginning of a life of woe. If you could get out,
you really thrived in jail.
Yeah, that was dumb though, ignorant. Another dumb thing was bursting into my brother's house with a machine gun.
Please tell that story.
Go ahead and tell that story.
That was dumb.
Will you tell that story, please?
Yeah, my brother used to be this guy that worked for my brother, and what happened was his name was Rashawn or whatever. What happened was, we was at a restaurant, and they were laughing, and I didn't know what they was laughing about. And at the time, I owned a gun. That's why I got. If you don't have to have a gun, get rid of it. I owned a gun just because they were laughing, and I thought they were laughing at me. I went and got the gun. Oh, you think that you're laughing at me?
I'll show you true power.
I got a machine gun and burst into the crib with a machine gun. Who's laughing now? All of that went down. Yeah.
What did they do?
Did you put the gun on Rashawn?
Yeah, man, what? The full Monty, man.
What did they do?
I didn't shoot it.
No, I know, but what were they doing? Just freaking out?
They did what they do when you see a machine gun. They got the fuck out the room, man.
You came in like, who the fuck was laughing at me? That kind of thing?
Yeah, it was really ignorant, man.
And Eddie, I believe, said, Charlie,
this is not a movie.
That's what he said?
Yeah, it's not a movie.
Charlie, this
damn
is
right it's not a movie.
I love that shit.
It was real. But I'm going to tell you something, man. That's the reason why, long story short, why I got rid of guns and, getting mad, I'm sure that me and that guy, we're cool now because, we've seen each other since then or whatever. I would have regretted it if I would have did that. And I also would have grown and feel the same way I feel right now. It was some dumb shit. And just imagine me right now in Rawway going, you're in here because someone laughed at you. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're in here because someone laughed at you. That would never,
Do you think everybody in prison feels that way?
I think about that all the
they
time.
all have that moment.
Yeah.
And you're in here because your girl told you had a small penis.
Right.
Some dude stepped on your shoes.
You're in here because somebody stepped on your new blue shoes. Yeah, you're in here forever because you lost control, and flipped out and did something to somebody in this name of being tough or macho or whatever, and now you have to pay a price.
And there's a part of them that wants to lose control. They like the idea.
But I think all men are hardwired to lose control, and that's why we have that word self-control, and people get rewarded for demonstrating it. And then we have jail for those who demonstrate the lack of it.
Right. Jerry Sandusky right now is like, you were in here just because you wanted to rough house in a shower.
Because you want to lather up those young legs.
Number
soap, motherfucker.
Number 4 and 5 dumbest things you've ever done?
Dumbest things. Another one was going down to Atlantic City with a man in a wheelchair on a boat without checking the weather first. It was his boat. He was in a wheelchair, and I'm on a boat with him. And I thought he was going to drown that day because we didn't check the weather.
Where did you leave from?
From Jersey. We went from like the Hudson River. We was going to go down to Atlantic City. We didn't check the weather. And it almost turned into a tragedy. Yeah, that was dumb.
And he was in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
So he couldn't help.
That's what went through my mind. Like, what are you doing here right now? This man is the captain of the ship and he can't walk. And you're he knows everything about navigation and all this other stuff. Not you. You can swim, but you're too far away to swim back.
Right.
What are you doing here? You didn't check the weather. That was what he was supposed to do, but he didn't because he was not on top of his game. And now you're with him. All that went through my mind, but we worked out for us. We got,
You landed?
Yeah, we got in, but it was very scary, man. Very, very, very scary. So I would think that was the 4th dumbest thing. That was real dumb. And another thing.
Would it have made a difference if he wasn't in a wheelchair?
I think him being in the wheelchair in that situation made it really hard for me.
Made you feel
Like
helpless.
psychologically
I had
worse?
2 situations with that guy. Like, another one was me and he and I were trapped in the elevator together once. And you know
That
how in
sounds
the
like
movie,
bad luck.
you know how in the movies you have to slap somebody because they're hysterical. I had to power slap him in the elevators. Me and him in the
You
elevator.
had to power slap him?
The elevator designed for 2 people standing up. So that means I was literally like on his, like my feet was, the chair was between my feet. And he says, we're gonna die, Troop, we're gonna die. He started flipping out. I wanna call my wife. We're gonna die, I smell smoke. I was like, look, man, stop talking
Where
about
were you?
In Eddie's house in the elevator. It's not even a real elevator. Not even a real elevator. An elevator in somebody's house, man.
You smell smoke?
I smell smoke, Troop. I smell smoke. We getting ready to die, Troop.
They called you Troop?
Troop. He calls everybody Troop.
Got it.
And I had to slap him. It really works, man.
With your dick?
Nah.
On the cheek?
And how long were you trapped for?
Wow, for like 6 hours.
No shit.
Were you really?
Yeah. They had the fire department had to cut the top of the elevator off and all that to get us out.
Did you get out first?
Yes. You know what's the worst part about that was that the elevator was just enough space above the elevator where you could see people's feet walking past.
Oh, that's
and I heard
bad.
them playing ping pong. Wow, I gotta eat.
That's
Ping pong while I'm stuck in this elevator with a hysterical man in a wheelchair.
And you
Really?
know you're so good at ping pong. You got to get out there and play.
must have been galling to know that you could have been the champ.
That's my game right there.
Yeah.
And 5th dumbest thing.
5th dumbest thing was it had to be when that girl busted me in the face with the bottle. I was laying down with my eyes closed.
I love how you tell these stories like, well, you all know this story. When
I was laying. You see the scar I got right here, right? Look. See?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, see that? I was laying down. You said, wow, like my face is bleeding. But
No, because it's you can't see it at all till you point out. That's a tough guy scar.
Is that new?
that's always been there since you knew me.
All right.
What happened was I was laying down and I was insulting the girl and I had my eyes closed.
You were just laying back pimp style insulting
Talking
someone?
here, you stinking ass bitch. Pow! And I just thought the bottle hit me and that was it. You know, jumped up. The girl locked me in the basement and ran away. And I was like, I'll get you soon. Oh, what's this on my face? Oh shit, blood was pouring all out. Yeah. So that had to be done.
You were locked in a basement
with a busted open to the white meat face. Yeah. Yeah.
Where was this? In your house?
That was in Hempstead, Long Island, man. On Half Court. I remember the street and everything.
How'd you get out?
House?
I had to bust through the basement window and climb out and then run back to my mother's house. I remember my mother opened the door and see my face bust to the white meat. She was very calm. She said, come on in. Cleaned my face up and then said, now get back out.
How old were you?
Don't get stitches in my keloid.
How old were you?
17.
17.
Did you
That's
not
the kind of kid I was, man. If my son came home with his face busted to white meat, I would be hysterical. My mother was real, but had put us through so much by then. She was like, this was gonna happen, bound to happen sooner or later.
You think she put you guys through stuff?
I put my mom through so
you
much,
put it.
you know, that when I came back like that, you know, it's just like when I'm going through with one of my kids. It's like, yo, man, if you don't do what I advise you to do, and you choose another route, then whatever the outcome of that route is, you got to live with that, and you can't bring it back to me and act like get me out of this because I didn't get you into it.
What route is it?
I gave you. I'm just saying. I tell my kids that.
Right.
You know, if you choose to do another plan other than the one that I'm advising you, then because you're an adult, you know, you have the right to do that. But if it doesn't work, don't come back to me for counsel on your failure because I can help you if you try to do something that I'm aware of, that I'm familiar with, something that I gave you advice to do, and it don't work. Yeah, I can help you with that, but we wouldn't do some alien stuff. Come at, oh, this is not working. Well, I don't know what to tell you, son. Wherever you ended up from that, you know, now you have to eat that because that's one of the perils of being an adult. You get to make your own decision.
Being a parent, it's like, how do you decide when to help and when you have an adult kid?
Well, how do you decide that when you start equating it to, you know, taking care of a grown up?
Right. Do you see him more as like if one of your boys did this, how would you
He's not
react?
a boy, he's a grown man.
No, if one of your friends, like if Donnell did it or something, would you be like, I don't give a fuck? Is it like you give an
it would be
adult
just
child status slightly
if,
above
if,
a
if
male
I was getting a
friend?
phone call and said Donnell Rollins is locked up, I would be sad, but I wouldn't be like, I have to get down there and get him out.
Huh.
I would be like, he's a grown man. Whatever he did, is on him, man. He brought that to himself.
So you hear that, Donnell? Charlie would not bail you out.
Nah, I
if you
wouldn't.
went
I don't
to jail.
bail nobody out. You ain't gonna have to bail me out, so I ain't gonna worry about me bailing you out. You bail somebody out, they could jump bail, man, and your money's gone.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's
Not
a scary
bailing
thing to
nobody
bail
out or
people
lending money either.
The whole bail system is actually kind of absurd to me.
That it's a deposit.
Yeah, it's just like ridiculous.
On someone's person.
It's literally because they
It's
can't
a setup so they can own your house and have that person as well.
You know that thing about this new student loan law that even if you declare bankruptcy, you can't get out of paying your student loans. You can declare bankruptcy and they're like, yeah, we'll erase all your debt except your
debt.
student loan.
But it's all good. Banks are your friends, guys. So go ahead and.
All right, Murph. So we got to wrap it up. But anything?
I told you a lot of close personal stories that no one ever heard before. Let's do a recap on some of the
Champs
stuff we
exclusive.
touched.
Yeah. What do we got?
We got Dick on the cheek.
Python's Dick on the cheek.
Rocky drinking Thunderbird.
Duffy drinking Thunderbird. That's a lot of good stuff.
Jesse Helms.
We got
Strom Thurmond.
Strom
We got
Thurmond.
Beirut.
talking shit with
Beirut,
Charlie Murphy
talking
in
shit
jail.
with Charlie Murphy in jail. Writing letters home for people in jail that couldn't spell.
Was it get in, get out? We had get in, get out, don't keloid.
I had to write a letter home for this other guy. He was the toughest guy on the cell block, but he couldn't read and write.
So you had to write a letter for him.
Yeah, because the gang was after him. The letter was hilarious, man. I laughed this guy was humongous, man. He wrote this. He was dictating the letter, and the exact letter was, "Dear Mama, I need you to put $200 in my commissary because this gang and this man named Crunch said they gonna kill me if I don't give them back 50 cupcakes by 30."
Ladies and gentlemen,
You literally
He
had to
said
write 50
cupcakes. I busted out. I don't know how good it came out. The word 50, because when he said 50 cupcakes, I lost it, man. I was like, this whole letter is over Drake's Cakes, and your life is in peril over 50 cupcakes. Wow. Yeah.
God, that's fucking.
Could you imagine getting ready to die with some cupcakes, man?
That's some prison shit for you.
That's some prison shit, man.
All right, we did it.
we done did it. Guys, listen,
We
send
did,
us
did
your...
it. I want other people to know, too, that Charlie Murphy is not just about jail and mayhem. I'm also very cultured. I went to Iceland and ate whale meat and the whole night.
And the whole night. All that. He did all that shit.
It's right. I had boysenberry sauce on Free Willy.
How was whale meat?
Nasty.
Yeah.
I tried it though, Don't get mad at me for eating it. It was already, he was already done. He was already on the plate. I just tasted it, I didn't go
What did
tell
it
him to
taste
catch
like?
him and nothing like. It was nasty. It was. I can't describe it. I didn't like it, man.
Like
you got to be
fishy
from over there, man.
Yeah, I guess
You
so.
got to be raised in eating it. It has a very different taste, man. It's not a fishy taste, but it's not a meaty taste either. I can't describe it. It
Tastes like chicken of the sea.
No, it don't.
Okay.
Maybe what it was tasting like, I shouldn't be eating it because I would never eat it again. But I tried it.
Yeah, but you're cultured. Can't no one say you're not cultured now.
We did it. Things
Charlie
that I do
Murphy
like,
on the Champs.
we like having you on the Champs. You're a good guy. Thank you for
That's
coming.
what's up. You got to have me back, man.
Yeah, we will.
That's what's up.
No
God
doubt.
bless. That is what's up.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been fucking with the Champs, so we have a special a contest for you to design our T-shirts. So send us your designs. Email thechamps@gmail.com. Fuck with me at Moshe Kasher. Fuck with Neal at Neal Brennan. Fuck with Doug at Douggpound. And Charlie, are you on Twitter?
Yes, at C Murphy Comedy on Twitter. Hit me.
Then go see him live. Go see us all live, you guys. Thank you
See
so
Murphy.
much.